let's start there. You know, keeping a band on the road, and I guess we should say that you have evolved from that. You are no longer playing drums in Bella's, and I want to get into the evolution of that too. But because I think it was all a very happy sort of parting and evolution. So yeah, because we just played with your former bandmates the other night over in Concord, which was amazing. And we'll talk about that too. But like keeping a band on the road and managing those logistics, that's a heck of a job to have to do, and coordinating hotels. And so how do you go about doing that? Like, were you planning the dates of the tour as well, or were you working with a manager to do that kind of thing? Talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, so man, I feel super fortunate to step into this type of position, management, uh, because of the experiences that I've had for the past 10 years just as a touring musician.
Yeah,
I feel like as someone that like was driven by, not only like showing up to a venue to like just set up drums and play drums, like every good touring band at a certain level is going to have a tour manager. And we had a tour manager. He was doing our merchandise for us for a little while too. And it's definitely, is driving the van, is setting up the merch, is kind of making some spreadsheets and, trying to help with logistics, like places to stay, et cetera, et cetera. Thinking ahead of time for, sorry, um, thinking ahead of time for like those types of things, as well, like in planning. But at a certain point, we kind of like, those people come and go. So there are
yep,
people in the band that always have to assume a lot of those responsibilities. And ever since I joined the band, I've always assumed those types of responsibilities because I like gravitate towards it. It's something that
yep.
I naturally am kind of already good at.
I think it's a
And one of
drummer
the
thing. I
it
don't
could
know.
it's
Like, there's a
I've seen it with
logistics,
so many other drummers too.
right? Yeah, yep,
And every musician, like every single one of us, like me, being a musician is like, God, our brains are so talented. Like we're just processing so much information at once. But I
for
do think
sure.
there is something with drummers where we're unique in that sense, where like, we're using four limbs at the same time. There's a lot of
Yes,
coordination kind of going on there. So who
I
knows?
call it uncoordinated coordination.